Welcome to Lento English. Ready to level up your English? Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey.
One introduction. President Trump has a new plan for movies. This plan is a big surprise for many people. He wants to put a very large tax on films. This tax is for movies that are made in other countries, not in America. The president said the tax could be 100%. This means the tax could be the same price as the cost of making the movie. This is a very big tax. The president says this plan will help American movies. He thinks it will make the film industry in the USA strong again. He also says it will bring movie jobs back to America for American workers. He believes other countries are taking movie work away from America unfairly. He wants to change this with his new tax idea. People in Hollywood make many famous movies. Hollywood is a place in California. When they heard about this new plan, they were very surprised. Many people in Hollywood are also very worried. The film industry in America has had some hard times recently. A big sickness stopped work for a while. There were also strikes when people stopped working. So making movies was difficult for some years. Now the industry is trying to get better. This new tax plan is another big thing for them to think about. For a long time, some American movies were not actually made in America. Film companies sometimes choose other countries to make their films. They also sometimes choose other states in America, not California. These other places often offer good deals. For example, they might offer less tax for film companies, or workers might cost less money in those places. So Hollywood has lost some of its movie-making business. The president's plan tries to stop this from happening more, but many people in the film world are not sure if this tax is a good idea. They ask many questions. How will this new tax work? When will it start? Will it really help American movies and American workers, or will it make new problems for the film industry? Will movies cost more money to make, and will they cost more money for people to watch? This book will look at these important questions. We will try to understand why President Trump wants this tax. We will also look at what this tax could mean for the whole film world. It could change how movies are made in the future. It could change where movies are made. It is an important new idea. It affects people who make movies and businesses that help them. It also affects people who love to watch movies. We will explore what might happen next. 2. Hollywood now. Hollywood is going through a hard time. Recently, there were big problems because of sickness. There were also strikes where workers stopped working. These things stopped movie making for a while. Now, the movie business is slowly trying to get better, but it takes time for everything to start again. Things are not like they were before. Many movies and TV shows are not made in Hollywood anymore. They are not filmed in California. Film companies are choosing different places to make their movies. This is a big change for Hollywood. California used to be the main place for making films in America. Why are film companies leaving California? Other places offer good things to film companies. Other states in America give money back to companies that film there. These are called tax credits. Other countries also offer good tax credits. These places might have cheaper workers too. This makes it cost less money to make a movie outside California. So many studios decide to film in these other places. This change is causing problems in Hollywood. Movie making is down quite a lot in Southern California. One report said that in the first part of the year, the number of days filming went down by 22% compared to before. Big movie studios, called sound stages, are not very busy. Only about 63% of the space in these big buildings is being used for filming. People who work in movies find it harder to get jobs. People who have worked in movies for many years are finding it difficult. Small companies that help make movies, like places that rent cameras or build sets, are also losing work. For example, one company that gives medical things for movie sets says work is much less now. These small companies need movie productions to stay open. Some people worry. They think Hollywood could lose its movie business, like the city of Detroit lost its car business many years ago. They want the movie work to stay in Los Angeles. They want to keep their jobs and businesses in California. Because of all these problems, people in Hollywood feel unsure. They worry about the future. Will things get better? Will the movie jobs come back to California? The sickness and the strikes made things difficult. Now, losing movie making to other places makes people worry more. Hollywood is waiting to see what happens next. The film business is very important for many people and jobs in the area. Everyone hopes for a good future, but right now, things feel uncertain. This is the situation in Hollywood now, even before any new big changes might happen. 3. The big plan. President Trump explained his new idea for the movie business. He called it the big plan. This plan is about a very big tax on movies. This special tax is for films that companies make in other countries, not in America. The tax would be 100%. This is a very large amount of money. For example, if a movie costs $20 million to make in a different country, the company that made it might have to pay another $20 million just because of this new tax. This would make foreign-made films much more expensive. President Trump said this plan is very important for America. He believes it will really help American movie makers. He said it will breathe new life into the film industry in the United States. He also thinks this plan will bring many movie jobs back to America. Many people who work in films have found it hard to get work recently. He wants his plan to change this difficult situation for them and create more opportunities. He explained more about why he thinks this tax is a good idea. President Trump believes that other countries are taking movie production away from America unfairly. He said these countries are stealing the movies from Hollywood. Hollywood is the famous center of filmmaking, sometimes called Tinseltown. He feels that these other countries give special offers to movie companies. These offers can be money or cheaper workers. This makes movie companies decide to film in those places and not in the USA. He said that because of this, Tinseltown has been devastated. He also mentioned that Hollywood itself does not do very much to stop this problem, and a lot of movie work has gone to other places around the world. The president thinks this is a very serious problem. He said it is like a big, planned effort by other nations to take the movie business. He even described it as a threat to the country, not just to jobs. He is fighting for American movies and American workers. The main goal of his big plan is very clear. He wants more movies to be made in the USA. He wants American workers to have good jobs making these movies. He announced his plan on social media for everyone to see. He said he is not trying to hurt the movie industry with this tax. Instead, he said, "I want to help the industry." He strongly believes this 100% tax is the best way to protect American movie making. He wants to bring the movie business back home to America where he thinks it belongs. 4. Film jobs and money. The president's idea for a new tax on movies made outside America makes people think about jobs and money. Many people work in the film industry. They do things like act, direct, use cameras, build sets, or create special effects. There are also many small businesses that help make films possible. For example, some companies provide costumes, lights, or special items needed for movie scenes. These workers and small business owners are worried about the proposed 100% tax. In places like Southern California, film work has already decreased. Fewer movies and TV shows are being filmed there compared to past years. Some filming locations, called sound stages, are not busy. People are finding it harder to get jobs in the film business. Owners of small companies that support film making see less work coming in. They worry that if making movies becomes more difficult or expensive, their businesses might have to close. The president believes the big tax will help American workers. The hope is that the tax will make film companies, called studios, decide to make more movies inside the United States. If studios film more in America, it could create more jobs for people living there. The idea is to bring film production back home. However, many people in the film world are concerned about the cost. A 100% tax is very large. It would make filming movies in other countries extremely expensive for the studios. Studios choose locations based on many things, including cost. If filming outside the US doubles the cost because of the tax, studios will face hard choices. This new tax could change how studios spend their money. They might decide it is better to film inside the USA, even if some things cost more there than in other countries. This could lead to more American film jobs, or studios might find that the tax makes movies too expensive to produce anywhere. They might make fewer movies overall. This could mean fewer jobs, not more. It could also mean that movies become more expensive for people to watch in cinemas or at home. Right now, no one knows for sure what will happen. Will the tax help create jobs in America, or will it make movies too costly and hurt the industry? It is a big change, and people are waiting to see how it will affect jobs and the price of making films. 5. Two sides. President Trump's new plan for a big tax on movies made outside America is a surprise. People in the movie world have very different ideas about it. Some think it is good. Others think it is very bad. There are two main sides to this story. Some people in the movie world believe this 100% tax is a good idea. They say that for many years, movie companies have chosen to make films in other countries. These places often have cheaper workers, or their governments give money to film companies. Supporters of the new tax think it will change this. They believe it will make American movie studios film more of their movies in the USA. This could mean more jobs for American workers. One producer thinks this tax directly targets the big movie companies. He believes it will push them to bring movie making back home. He even said that studios would be happy to do this. The president also states his goal is to help the American movie business. He thinks this plan will make the film industry in America strong again. However, many other people in Hollywood are very worried about this new tax. They do not agree that it is a good plan. They are afraid it will cause serious problems. For example, some say that if movies made in other countries become 100% more expensive, making movies will cost too much. This could mean studios make fewer movies and many people could lose their jobs. Also, movies might become more expensive for everyone to watch. Small businesses that help make movies are also scared. They worry they will have less work. Many in the industry feel that tax incentives are a better way to help. This means the government gives some money back to companies that film in America instead of adding a large new tax. So there are clearly two different sides. The big question is about the best way to help American movies. People who like the tax say it is a strong action. They believe it will force movie companies to make changes quickly. Their hope is that more films will be made in the United States, creating more work. On the other side, those against the tax think it will hurt the film business. They worry it will make movies much more expensive to produce. This could lead to fewer films and possibly fewer American jobs. They believe that helping studios with money, like tax credits, is a better idea than a large new tax. The movie world is waiting to see what happens. 6. Better ideas. Not everyone agrees that a big new tax is the only way to help American movies. Many people in the film world are talking about other ideas. They wonder if there are better ways to bring film jobs back to the United States. The president's plan for a 100% tax is a very big change. So, it is important to think about all the possible solutions. One popular idea is to use tax credits. What are tax credits? They are like a special kind of help from the government. If a film company makes a movie in a certain place, the government might give them some money back, or the company might pay less tax. This makes it cheaper for the company to make their film in that place. It is a way to encourage companies to choose a specific location for filming. Many people think this is a good way to support the film industry. Some states in America already use tax credits. For example, California has a program that gives tax credits to film companies. This helps to keep some movie making in California, but other states and even other countries also offer good tax credits. This is one reason why many movies are now made outside of Hollywood. These places offer attractive deals, and film companies go where it costs less to make movies. So, some people say that more tax credits, not new taxes, are what America needs. They believe that if the U.S. government offers good tax incentives, more companies will choose to make films in America. This could help create jobs and support businesses that work with film productions. It is about making America a good place to film, so companies want to come here. It is different from a tariff, which is a tax on films made in other countries. A tariff is more like a punishment for filming outside the U.S. Tax credits are more like a reward for filming inside the U.S. The governor of California has an idea about this. He wants to increase the money available for film tax credits in his state. He has proposed making the California tax credit program much bigger. The plan is to change it from $330 million to $750 million each year. The hope is that this will bring more film and TV shows back to California. People who support this idea say that productions go where they can get help to lower their costs. So, the discussion continues. Is a big tax on foreign films the best answer? Or would giving more financial help like tax credits to filmmakers in the US work better? Both ideas want to help the American film industry, but they try to do it in very different ways. People are carefully thinking about which path is the best one for the future of movies in America. 7. A hard rule. The new tax plan needs a clear rule. How can we know if a movie is American or from another country? This is a very important question for the new tax. For many normal products like cars or clothes, it is usually easier to tell. People look at where the different parts come from. They also look at where the product was made. If many parts are from a different country or if it was made outside America, the product might be called foreign. But movies are not like cars. What are the parts of a movie? Is it the actors and where they come from? Is it the place where they film the scenes? Or is it the company that gives the money to make the movie? What if the director is from one country and the writer from another? It is hard to say what makes a movie truly American. This problem makes the new tax very difficult to use fairly. Old rules for trade between countries were mostly made for things you can touch and hold. They were for products like food, wood, or machines. These rules help governments decide if a tax is needed when these products cross borders from one country to another. But movies are very different from these kinds of products. Sometimes, a movie is on a big, heavy roll of film. This film is used in cinemas to show the movie on a screen. In this case, it is a physical thing. But often, a movie is more like a service that people use. Think about watching a movie on television or on your computer at home. You are paying for the service of watching it, not for a physical object you keep. These old trade rules might not work well for something like a movie because it is not always a simple product. The government needs to think about this very carefully before making new tax laws. So what exactly is a movie when we talk about trade and taxes? Is it a physical object? Yes, sometimes it is, like the film reels that old cinemas use. These are things you can see and touch. But today, most people do not see movies in this way. Is a movie a service? When a company shows a movie in a cinema or on a TV channel, it provides a service to the people who watch. This seems true for many situations. And what about all the movies you can watch on the internet using streaming services? These are often called digital goods or digital services. They are not physical things you can hold, and they are not exactly like a service you get at one specific time. A movie can be all of these things or a mix. This makes it very hard to create one simple tax rule that fits every type of movie. Different kinds of rules often apply to physical goods, services, and digital items in international trade. Because movies are so complex, making new tax rules for them is a very hard job. The government has to decide clearly what makes a movie foreign for the purpose of this tax. For example, if a movie is filmed in Canada with mostly American actors and an American story, is it American or Canadian? What if the money to make the film comes from a company in Europe, but the story is about American history and it is filmed in the USA? These are not easy questions to answer with a simple rule. There is a lot of uncertainty and confusion about how these new taxes would actually work. People in the movie business, both big studios and small companies, are waiting to see what the exact rules will be. Creating fair and clear rules for international movie taxes is a big challenge for everyone involved. Other countries sometimes have rules to protect their own movies and culture, but they often use different methods. These methods might include making sure a certain number of local films are shown in cinemas or on TV, rather than just a big tax on foreign films. 8. The future show. The future of movies in America could change a lot if the president's new plan for a big tax starts. This plan is for a 100% tax on films made outside the United States. This means a movie made in another country could cost twice as much to show to American viewers. The president says this will help the American film industry grow strong again. He believes it will bring movie-making jobs back to America. However, many people are not sure if this is the best way to help. It is a very big change, and no one knows exactly what will happen next. The film world is waiting to see if these new rules will really begin. To discuss this new plan, government officials will meet with leaders from the movie industry. The president has said he wants to talk to Hollywood executives. These are the important people who run the big movie companies. He wants to hear their thoughts about the tariff before making final decisions. Also, California's governor has said he wants to work with the national government. He hopes they can find ways to support film production in California and across the country. These meetings will be very important. The people in these talks will try to decide what is best for the future of American movies. This new tax plan for movies brings many questions. It is not simple to put a tax like this on films. For example, how do you decide if a movie is American or foreign? Sometimes, a movie is made by people from many different countries. Also, movies are not like cars or clothes. You can watch movies online. They are like digital information. The old rules for taxes on goods might not work well for movies. The government has to think about these problems and create clear rules. The president has said that other countries are trying to take movie business away from America. He also suggested that films from other countries might carry messages that are not good for American values. This is another reason he wants the tax. Hollywood might change a lot because of these new ideas and rules. If the tax is put in place, studios might decide to make more movies in America. This could be good for American workers. But some people worry that movies will become too expensive to make. This could mean fewer movies are made, or they cost more for people to see. The future for making movies in America is uncertain right now. It is an important time for the film industry. Everyone is watching to see how these new plans will shape the world of movies. The government believes these actions are needed to protect American filmmaking. The next few years will show how these changes affect the stories we see on screen.